back with our chapter of Meaning of the Mind by LizzeXX. We are currently on chapter 18, which is the final part for the Girl of the Fireplace episode. So, if you want to follow along, which is really do highly recommend, chapter links for both archive and fanfiction.net are in the description below for you to pick and choose. There's not really any difference. It's just, archive sometimes has like pictures at the for like each episode, and I think there should be a picture in this chapter since there haven't been the other two. So yeah, but yeah, I do highly recommend following along because I have a habit of accidentally skipping over words or starting over words or missing words. So really do recommend. Also, if you'll be able to, it'd be easier for you to leave a review, comment, kudos to the author. I don't think you need an account for the review kind. It just means the author can't respond to you. At least on fanfiction. I don't know how it works fully on archive. But fanfiction, author can't respond if you don't have an account. So, yeah. So let's just get right into this. This is chapter 18. The Girl in the Fireplace. A fixed fireplace. Burnett stood by the window of her new quarters, looking up at the sky, when she heard footsteps approaching. She quickly checked the clock face, full and warping, only to see one figure reflected in the glass. Madame de Pompadour, Rose called as the woman gasped. Please, don't scream or anything. We haven't got a lot of time. Renette quickly made her way over to Rose, recognizing her from the last time she'd seen the Doctor and Angel. How comfortable are you going to be here in 5 years? 5 years? She frowned. Sometime after your 37th birthday, she nodded, taking a seat. Um, I can't give you an exact date. It's a bit random, but they're coming. It's gonna happen. No way, for us, it's already happening. I'm sorry, I'll explain. The doctor does this better. But be exact and I will be attentive. There isn't time. There are 5 years. For you, I haven't got 5 minutes. Then also be concise. Renette took her seat opposite Rose, ready to listen. There's a vessel, Rose struggled to explain. A ship. A sort of sky ship? And it's full of, well, you. Different bits of your life, like in different rooms, all jumbled up. She shook her head apologetically. I told you it was complicated. Sorry. There is a vessel in your world where the days of my life are pressed together like the chapters of a book, so that they may step from one to the other without increase of age. But I, wary traveller, must always take the slower path. Rose smiled. They're right about you. So, in 5 years, these creatures will return. What can be done? The doctor says keep them talking. Angel thinks they're programmed to respond to you. You won't be able to stop them, but you might be able to delay them a bit. Until the doctor and Angel can get there. They're coming then. Burnett breathed a sigh of relief. They promise, but they cannot make their promises in person. They'll be there when you need them. That's the way it's got to be. This is the way it's always been, she sighed. The monsters, Doctor, and the Angel. It seems you cannot have one without the others. Tell me about it. Rose laughed slightly. The thing is, you weren't supposed to have either. Those creatures are messing with history. None of this ever supposed to happen to you. Supposed to happen? Renette snapped angrily. What does that mean? It happened, child, and I would not have it any other way. Why did I tolerate a world demon for the sake of an angel? And I have too. She stood and turned to face the fireplace. Rose? Vicky called from another room. Rose? He pushed his way past the tapestry. Rose! Rose ran over. Time window when she's 37. Angel found it. Right under our noses. He stopped and looked at Renette, who walked quickly towards the tapestry, wanting to see behind it. No, you can't go there. The doctor will go mad. Rose tried to stop her, but Renette had already walked through to the ship. Hello, Renette. Rose heard Angel greet. She stepped past the tapestry to see the Time Lady standing there with Mickey, having led him there so the boy wouldn't get lost on the way back, not about to abandon her companion. Renette looked around, lost, confused, scared, and Rose and Angel Vicky watched her. So this is their world, she breathed before turning to Angel. Your world. But before Angel could respond, the sound of screaming echoed to them. What was that? It's alright. Angel stepped up, putting her arm around the woman's shoulder in comfort. The time window, looked her. The time window. The doctor fixed an audio link, Vicky explained. It's free. Renette swallowed hard, turning to Angel desperately. Is that my future? Yes, the woman replied pathetically. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Renette nodded, taking Angel's hand and squeezing it. Then I must take the slower path. Are you there? Renette heard herself shouting down the hall. Can you hear me? I need you now. You promised. The clock on the mantle is broken. It is time. My voice. Renette breathed. Angel could only squeeze her hand back. Come on, we gotta go, Nikki said softly. There's that problem. Angel nodded and stepped back from Renette to Vicky's side. Rose just moved over to Renette. Give me a moment. Vicky nodded and they turned to rush off, but Angel paused and turned back. Renette, keep back from the mirror. Renette nodded, confused by the words, but feeling they should come clear in time. Are you okay? Rose asked Renette gently, as Angel and Vicky left. No, she replied. I'm very afraid. But you and I both know, don't we, Rose? The Doctor and Angel are worse than monsters. Rose nodded, 1,000 times over. Annette offered a small smile before she walked back to the tapestry, ignoring her calls for the Doctor and Angel in the future. Doctor! Renette yelled into the fireplace, years later. Angel! We must go, the king shouted. No one is coming to help us. One of the droids appeared in the doorway as Renette turned. She gasped at the sight, recalling her nightmares as a child as two more droids flanked it. You are complete, the droid said. You will come. The doctor was working frantically at the controls when Rose joined them, Mickey standing by the time window, Angel fixing some Rose by the doorway. You found it then? Rose asked Angel. I knew we were coming, Angel replied. Dropped it all off. One of the droids pulled Renette along by the arm. Where are we going? She demanded. The teleport has limited range, it stated. We must have proximity to the time portal. Your words mean nothing. You are nothing. The droid just turned the corner, two others holding the king back as well. I don't get it. Rose joined Vicky by the window. How come they got in there? They teleported, the doctor said, still working. You saw them. As long as the ship and the ballroom are linked, their short-range teleports will do the trick. Well, we can go to TARDIS. We can't, Angel cut in. We're part of events now. Well, can't we just smash through it? Vicky suggested. Hyperplex, this side. Plate glass the other. The doctor shook his head. We need a truck. We don't have a truck. I know we don't have a truck. Wait! Angel glared lightly at him. No yelling at my companion. She understood he was concerned and stressed, but that was no reason to shout at Mickey. Well, we gotta try something. No, smash the glass, smash the time window. There'll be no way back. I don't know, Angel replied, and the doctor looked at her. Renette's clever. She opened one door. Perhaps she can open another. The doctor watched her closely as she suddenly stood up and dashed into the hall. A moment later, a whinny was heard as Arthur trotted back into the room, Angel leading him along. Can everyone just calm down? Renette shouted to the scared men and women gathered in the ballroom. Please! Such a commotion, such distressing noise. Kindly remember that this is Vestalius. This is the royal court, and we are French. She turned to the droid. I have made a decision, and my decision is no. I shall not be going with you today. I have seen your world, and I have no desire to set foot there again. We do not require your feet, it replied. Two droids came up on either side of her, pushing her down to a kneel, pointing their cutting devices at her neck. as the first droid approached her, extending its device as well. You think I fear you, she glared at it, remaining as brave as she could, hoping to do as Angel the Doctor had asked, delay them. But I do not fear you, even now. You are merely the nightmare of my childhood, the monster from under my bed. And if my nightmare can return to take you, then rest assured, she lowered her voice threateningly, so will yours. The sound of a horse winnowing echoed, and Renat looked towards the large mirror on the back wall just before it was shattered. The Doctor and Angel were riding through it on a white horse. The guests shrieked as Renat's mouth dropped open. Hello, Renat, Angel greeted as the Doctor hopped off the horse and helped him down. You look like younger every day, he commented. What the hell is going on? The King shouted. Oh, this is my lover, the King of France, Renat introduced. Yeah? The Doctor looked over a bit disdainfully as the King asked him to look at Angel, still in her period outfit. He quickly wrapped an arm around her waist. Well, with the Lord and Lady of Time. He led her over to the droid, and we're here to fix the clock. He pulled the wig and mask off the droid, revealing its clockwork head before it pointed a weapon at him. Forget it, it's over. For you and for us. He glanced up at the broken mirror to see a brick wall behind it. Talk about sending his bad luck. 3,000. Rose stared down at the broken shards of glass where the window to the ballroom once stood. What happened? Mickey frowned. Where did the time window go? How are they going to get back? Rose just shook her head. She didn't know, but she had to have faith. Just before Arthur had galloped towards the window, Angel had called to them to give it 5.5 hours. The droid repeatedly tapped his wrist, trying to teleport, but failed. The link's broken, Angel explained. There's no way back to the ship now. You don't have the parts, the Doctor agreed. How many ticks left in that clockwork part? A day? An hour? It's over. Accept that. Neither of us are winding you up. The clockwork slowly wound down, droid going dead before the other droids followed suit, slumping forward. One fell backwards, smashing its head on the ground as the guest whispered. You alright, Renat? Angel asked as she and the Doctor helped the woman to her feet. She nodded. What happened to them? They stopped, the Doctor said. They have no purpose now. We can't fly the TARDIS without them, Nicky continued, his heart racing at what this might mean for his pilot. How are they going to get back? Rose looked up at the stars for a moment, closing her eyes. She had to pray that Angel was right. The Doctor and Angel were standing by a window in Renet's quarters, the Doctor holding a glass of wine, both of them looking up at the stars when Renet joined them. You know all their names, don't you? She asked, eyeing them. I saw that in your mind. The name of every star. What's her name? The Doctor shrugged. Names are just titles. Titles don't tell you everything. Like the Doctor, she smirked. Or the Angel? Like Madame de Pompadour? Angel retorted lightly, nudging her. Let laughed. I have often wished to see those stars a little closer. Just as you have, I think. From time to time, he replied. You favoured me in trapped yourselves. She frowned, looking more at Angel than the Doctor. Did you know that would happen? I had a feeling, Angel admitted. I saw that as well, the future burning around you. You knew that. Still, you came? Yeah, we did, didn't we? The Doctor smiled. Catch me doing that again. There are many doors between my world and yours. Can you not use one of the others? When the mirror broke, the shock will have severed all the links to the ship. There'll be a few more broken mirrors and tapestries around here, I'm afraid. Wherever there was a time window, I'll pay for any damage. Oh, he blinked. That's a thought. I'm going to need money. I was always a bit vague about money. Where do you get money? So, here you are. Burnett smiled at them. I know you, Doctor, and he's great angel. Like on the sofa. It's me. Yep, he grinned, holding out his glass. The slow path. Here's to the slow path. Renat clinked her glass of peas. "So quickly, I think I would have enjoyed this so far." "Well, we're not going anywhere." "Oh, aren't you?" She raised an eyebrow. "Come." She placed her glass down and led them out of the room. To her chambers, where she just stood at the fireplace. "It's not a copy, it's the original. I had it moved here and was exact in every detail." "The fireplace," the doctor remarked as he and Angel walked towards it. "The fireplace from your bedroom. When did you do this?" "Many years ago," she sighed, "in the hope that a door once opened may someday be opened again." The doctor paused and looked at Angel curiously. One never quite knows when one meets one's doctor or one's angel. "It is not damaged. Do you think it will still work?" "You broke the bond with the ship when you moved it." The doctor blinked. Angel's words making sense. "Which means it was mine when the mirror broke. That's what saved it." "But—" He moved closer to the fireplace. "The link is basically physical, and it's still physically here." Renette slowly approached them, watching as the doctor worked, tapping the woodwork and listening to it. "Which might just be, if I'm lucky, if we're very, 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 very lucky," he beamed. "Aha! What?" "What?" "This connection." He pulled out something and flashed it. "Need to get man in." He hit the mantle. "Wish us luck." "Luck," she whispered as the fireplace turned, bringing them back to the ship. They turned and crouched down by the fire, looking through the flames. "Madame de Pompadour," the doctor shouted, watching as she crouched down on the other side. "Still want to see those stars?" "Put them anything." "Give us 2 minutes. Pack a bag." "Can I go somewhere?" "Go to the window. Pick a star. Any star." He stood and dashed off to the TARDIS, Renette smiling as she looked back through the flames, only to see the sad look on Angel's face for the woman made to follow him. Her smile fell. No, no, she would not be going anywhere. "How long did you wait?" the doctor asked as he hugged Rose, Vicky and Angel hugging as well. 5.5 hours. Rose laughed. "Right, always wait 5.5 hours." "I told you." Angel turned to hug the younger woman as well. The doctor making to hug Mickey, but deciding to just shake his hand. "You're right." Rose nodded. "No doubt you. But where have you been?" "Explain later." The doctor waved her off. "Mr. Dallas, be with you in a sec." He rushed over to the fireplace, Angel casting a sad, knowing look after him before joining. Rose and Mickey glancing at each other, having seen that look and knowing what it meant. This wouldn't end well. "Renette," the doctor called, peering through the fireplace. "You there, Renette?" Angel just walked to the side, tracing the fireplace to revolve back to Renette's bedroom, now dark. He paused, looking around before taking Angel's hand and wandering through the halls. "Renette," he called, only to see the king standing by a window. "Oh, hello." "You just missed her," he replied. "She'll be in Paris by 6." "Ah," the doctor nodded. The king returned to stare at them, taking a few steps forward in shock. Good Lord, she was right. She said you never looked a day older. So many years since I saw you last. Yet not a day of it on your faces. The doctor tensed as the king examined Angel a bit longer than himself. A moment later, the king shook his head and walked over to a sideboard, taking out a letter. "She spoke of you many times." Renette, Angel reached down and took the doctor's hand as he realized what had happened. Why the man kept talking about Renette in the past tense. "Doctor wished you visit again. You know how women are." He held out a letter to the doctor, who took it, looking down at it, addressed to him, Angel. There was a whip in the distance. The king returned to the window. "There she goes." He frowned, watching the coffin drive off, leaving to say this for the last time. I was 43 when she died. The doctor and Angel walked up behind him, solemnly watching. Too young, too young. Illness took her at the end. She always did work too hard. He looked back at the doctor. What did she say? The doctor just put the letter in his pocket. Of course. Quite right. He turned back to the window. The doctor and Angel were walking away a few moments later. The doctor closed the door to his clothes and walked up to the console, touching Angel's hand in his own. Hi, her, Rose asked, as she and Vicky stood by the console. Why did they think they could fix the ship with the head of Manager Dumbledore? We'll probably never know, the doctor shrugged. There was a massive damage in the computer memory base. Probably got confused. Angel walked past him to the controls. The TARDIS will close time will close windows with the droid guard. Keep the ship from making any more disturbances in time. The doctor stopped beside her, leaning on the console sadly. Are you alright? Rose asked, after a moment of watching the two Time Lords. I'm always alright. The doctor looked up, smiling briefly as Angel just nodded, and continued on the controls. Come on, Rose. Nikki tugged her arm. Let's have a Time Lord feed in a moment. Time showed me around the rest of this place. Rose hesitated a moment, not wanting to leave the two in pain. But they had each other, and this was something they needed to do together. She nodded, turning to walk off. The doctor glanced up once they were gone, making sure it was just him and Angel before pulling out the letter. Angel walked over and stood beside him, tucking her arm through his and leaning her head on his shoulder to look at it as well. My dear doctor, my guardian angel, the path has never seemed more slow, and yet I fear I am nearing its end. Reason tells me that you and I are unlikely to meet again, but I think I shall not listen to reason. I have seen the world inside your head, doctor, and know that all things are possible. Hurry though, my loves. My days grow shorter now, and I am so very weak. Godspeed, my angels. The doctor tucked the letter back into his coat and turned back to the console. He looked up to see that the fireplace was on the monitor. Angel took his hand, squeezing it as he reached up, pushed a few keys. The picture going out, the time windows closing. The doctor casually tossed his jacket over the gantry edge. It come down, having realized Angel hadn't left the console room to sleep, and wanted to check on her. She was standing there, seemingly working on the console, though she was barely moving. He reached into his inner suit pocket, feeling Renette's letter, and pulled it out. He was going to head down and put it in his collection of items from his trips, when something caught his eye. There was a small bit of parchment folded and stuck to the back of the letter, held at the end of the wax on the back. He frowned, having not noticed it before, and pulled it out to see another small letter from a woman. My doctor, I have seen many things through your eyes, your mind, but nothing burns more brightly than in you than the love you have for your angel. And I can tell she loves you as well. There was a moment within your memories when you both spoke of your love for each other, but through another. Reason tells me you have not yet told her of your affections clearly and in your own person. Please do, for you fear hurting her, and you will if you do not tell her soon. He looked up, startled at her insight, recalling when Cassandra had let it slip that they loved each other. Perhaps that was what she meant. He nodded to himself. He would tell Angel soon. Now, yes. He looked down to see Angel still at the console, just absently flicking a button here or there. A small solder in her other hand, long since cool. He frowned. He'd been watching her the past few minutes, and she hadn't seemed to notice. Something had to be bothering her. She was always aware of him. He slowly made his way down the steps and over to her, taking the solder out of her hand, seeing it snap out of her thoughts. Oh! She blinked and turned to him. Sorry, I must have gotten distracted. He looked at her closely, his brows furrowed. What's wrong? She peered at him for a moment, as if debating whether or not to lie and say she was fine or tell him the truth. She sighed. She'd never been very good at lying, and turned back to look at the console. Did you only ask me to be your mate because you wanted to strengthen Alice? What? He gaped at her. No, of course not. She turned to him. Then was it because I am the only timeling left? No! He exclaimed, looking at her, shocked and slightly hurt. Where's all this coming from? I just... She shook her head and looked away from him, moving back to flick some small buttons. I'm not an actress or an artist or a musician or a dancer or gardener. I'm not as smart as other time lords, not as clever, and I know I'm awkward around humans, and that I talk nonsense half the time. There's nothing remotely special about me. She looked up at him suddenly, tears in her eyes. So why did you pick me? He blinked, hearing his own words about the next reflected back at him. He hadn't even considered what his praises of another woman might do to her. He stepped towards her and took her hands in his own. I think we should start working on establishing a mental bond. The mental bond was the first step in truly mating. It was a three-step process that was meant to build up and strengthen the connection between mates. First, there was the mental bond. Their people were largely telepathic in nature to a point. They could always feel the presence of their people around them in their minds. Faint buzzing, feed over each other's thoughts if they desperately have to. However, a mental bond solely between two timers was unique. It meant that you trusted your mate with what you knew and what you thought, giving them access to your mind. Next, there was the creation of an emotional connection. This was what allowed mates to feel each other's emotions, feel what they felt, feel if they were in any danger or pain. It was harder to establish than the mental bond. Tribal minds being more logical and often organized, while emotions could be turbulent and extreme and shifting. There were so many to sort through that it could take years to actually fully form one, but it was so worth it in the end. To be able to feel the warmth of your mate's countenance, know when your mate needed comfort, just understanding them in a new way, on a new level. Finally, there was the physical aspect of the mating. Well, nothing really more had to be said about that. The point when two mates joined together so completely and openly that their souls touched and merged together forever was a powerful, moving, and life-changing moment when all the efforts came to a head and two mates found themselves joined for life. Truly, upon the final step being completed, a mated pair would depend on each other. When one died, the other often followed. Such was the depth of their bond that the soul could no longer go on without its other half. Why? She frowned, confused as to why he had answered her question. It was something that had bothered her from the beginning. She knew, he'd mentioned, that he had felt something for her before he regenerated, but she couldn't help but worry that it was just wishful thinking on his part. Looking back on how he felt and interpreting it to how he was currently feeling. Yes, she hadn't gotten a chance to tell his ninth self she loved him. Hadn't heard it from him either. But then he regenerated and suddenly he loved her? He claimed that he had before, and that now it was just that he could express it. She believed him, she did, but somewhere at the back of her mind, she feared that it was just an effect on how suddenly he changed. That what if he regenerated again and didn't love her still? She knew it was a silly thought. Her feelings and memories didn't change upon regeneration, but it just bothered her that he suddenly seemed so focused on her. That was just it. To her, it was so sudden. She was afraid that once the newness of his new body wore off, once his feelings settled, that he'd realize he'd made a mistake. No other girlfriend had ever even given her a second glance. True, she hardly made an effort. The Thomases didn't care what she looked like. She walked around in her dirty work clothes with grease on her face and her hair all tangled. Other Time Lords, though, did, it seemed. She was just a dirty TARDIS farmer. The only time they talked to her was when they had a problem with their TARDIS or to come to collect one. To have someone like the Doctor interested in her, love her even, just she couldn't believe it was real. She just couldn't believe he'd wanted her for her, and not because of the reasons she just listed. It was just too amazing to want a simple time lady like herself. I want you to see how amazing I think you are, he told her sincerely, as though reading her mind. How fantastic. How brilliant. She looked down and quickly lifted her chin. And I know you won't believe me without seeing it in my head and in my heart first. It was his fault if he knew why she felt this way. He had asked her to be his maid, but done little in terms of actually seeing the process begun. He knew his regeneration had thrown her. knew she felt guilty about it, and he wanted to give her time to get to know and renew him before they really began anything. If, and he really prayed it wouldn't happen, she didn't decide she decided she didn't like this new man that he was, then they would stop. Once the progress had begun, there was no turning back. He had been heartbroken, devastated really. The traditions of their people broken too, if they stopped, even after having asked her to be the same. But he stopped. For her. It didn't seem like she wanted it to stop though. He now realized. It seems like she had taken his hesitations in beginning the process as his own hesitations about it and about her. How would do at all. He hadn't wanted to hurt her. As she had said when he asked her, they have to take this slow. Neither of them had mated before, not that they truly could have mated to someone and then mated to another person. The bond wouldn't allow that. But it was new to both of them. He was new to her, and it really was far too serious a step to take too hastily. He didn't want to rush her. He didn't want to make her feel like he was pushing her to do something she might not have been ready for. He wanted to give her the chance to fall the bond that he felt with her in his last body with his new one. He tried to keep things as slow as possible for her. As soon as she's been brilliant, all he wanted to do was just pull her into his arms and kiss her, or compliment her, or praise her. He held back on. It seemed, in trying not to rush into things and trying to control himself, which was admittedly one of the hardest things he had to do in his long life, he'd given her the impression he might be regretting his proposal to May. Well, he had to smirk a bit, and we're going slow for him. Not anymore. Now he'd kiss her and praise her and hold her to his heart's content. Anything to prove to her, as Renette had insisted, that he truly did love her with all his heart. Because he did. She had slowly but surely become his world. Now he just had to show her that. Now he just had to show her that. Prove to her that he wasn't about to let her go for anything. She was his mate. She would be in for quite the time. I know you're telling me the truth, she mumbled. I know you are. I have trouble believing in it. I spent my whole life thinking I was nothing special. A simple TARDIS farmer. Not a very good one. Tighebo either, according to my father. It's just hard when someone actually thinks I'm special, especially someone as wonderful as you. He grinned softly. Well, that's just it. He cupped her cheek, stroking it gently. I wouldn't pick anyone less than absolutely amazingly brilliant to be my mate. And I picked you, Nella. She looked into his eyes, looking for any hint of falseness, but could only see truth and honesty. Leaning forward and just hugged him close, letting her head rest on his chest, hearing his double heart beating for her. A soft smile grew on her face as he wrapped his arms around her as well, just holding her. Perhaps one day she really could feel like she deserved this ridiculous, wonderful man. And that's the end of chapter 18 and The Girl in the Fireplace. And of course, we have a picture archive, which is the Dr. Angel basically facing off with the clockwork after like telling him the clock is broken and all that. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, go leave a kudos comment and a review. I don't want any comments. I want you to go show the office some love with kudos comment and review. Don't need to count at the center beginning. Just need to see if I can respond to you. I'll be on fanfiction.net. And as a guest, you can leave a kudos as well on archive. So before you do go, be sure to subscribe. Upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. I'll see you guys next Friday with a new video. Bye!